Hey guys, miracle happened. The chat worked. So, um, yeah, I keep blaming it on YouTube there, but the fact is that I have my screen settings too high, is at 130%, so I couldn't see the right button. So, anyhow, so we got some stuff to talk about. So the upcoming shows that we're going to do a show on trams. So, you guys have seen our trams are really cool. So. We've done a bunch of shows on trams. There's a guy that rebuilt this really cool aerial tram from the Montezuma, which is really neat. And he's building this tram. Hi, Bob. He built this tram. He spent like $100,000, choppered the whole thing off of the out of the bush, and he built this real cool tram. So that's what you'll see next week. It's all about trams. So the other thing is what we want to do is we want to build a tram in our yard here for a museum. So we want to build a gravity tram. Going to probably cost me about $10,000 to build it. We know there's some cool tram buckets around. So we want to build a gravity tram right in our yard. And the idea is that you can climb up on it, jump in it, and then you can ride the car to the bottom. The empty car would come up. So that's what we're planning on doing. So there's a guy that's real smart that knows a lot about trams. He's helping me with that. We need to get a big bull wheel. There's a whole bunch in the bush around here from old trams, and we want to do that. So, all right. So, hi from Cora in North Carolina. How you guys doing from the States? So, unfortunately, it's really tough to get in the States right now because the border's all locked down, and so I don't know if we're going to be able to get down to the States this winter to do any exploring. I would think that probably the situation with the COVID, I don't think the border's going to be open. So, so we got some stuff around here we're going to do in Canada, and we're going to head up to the northern part of Canada, up in the Stewart area, and there's some big mines up there. The next, we're heading up there in August. So me and Sharon are going to go up there and explore a bunch of mines there. Maybe going to have to hire a helicopter to get up in this real cool mine up in the Stewart area, so it'll be lots of fun. So Samuel, hello from New York State. Has your TV show started yet? What channel is it on? Okay, so there's two things going on. There's a new show that's just come out on history this fall. I'm not really supposed to say what it is, but anyways, they've already filmed it, and I was just a guest on it, basically. So they came here, and I took them into a mine, and we recorded an ore cart for this show. So that's a brand new show that's coming out in history. It's going to be on that. And the other thing is, they're pitching a series that me and Sharon would be on to go all over the world and do a bunch of cool stuff underground. So that hasn't been approved yet. So those are the two things that's going on with TV. So now, so I'm saying, so the question is, has your TV show? Well, I don't have a TV show, but there's a couple things we're working on TV. So, do you think some of the earthquake activity globally that affects entry to mines? Well, I guess theoretically, I mean, we don't have earthquakes up here, but yeah, I mean, it's like maybe the straw that broke the camel's back. I guess things deteriorate in mines and they kind of fall apart. So if you get a bad earthquake, that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Hello from Michigan. Yeah. Okay, you're the show. So, hi everyone. I'm Pan-African. What that mean? So, hope you guys had a good summer. And hello from 100 Mile House. How? I know Willie up there. I learned, that's where I got my pilot's license, up in 100 Mile House. So, with this COVID thing and stuff, there's been, it's caused, some pretty major upheaval in the world. We're going to talk about that too much, but, look back in history in 1918 when the Spanish flu, and it's kind of funny that they call it that because most of the people died were in the States. And it didn't really come from Spain, but anyhow, 50 to 100 million people died then. Well, like that's a big deal. There wasn't that many people around back then, so we're kind of lucky, I guess. I don't know. We've done a better job managing it. Maybe learn from mistakes, and it's been fairly moderate, I guess, probably as a result of the steps that we've taken. So we'll get through it. Where's your beer at? I drank a little earlier, but I try to keep everything in reasonable level, keep in check. I guess you don't have a few beer, you don't get too excited about these things, right? You know, your liver has to last you for the rest of your life, eh? So just drinking water now. Hello from Ontario, Canada. And I'd host you. Hi, you guys, too. So I don't know if you guys seen that earlier. I was trying to get the live stream going, and it's kind of stupid when it comes to computers. It is, but you know the thing is, I kind of have trouble seeing the screen, so I zoom it up so it's like 130% or something. It cuts off some of the buttons, and then we couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And they've changed a whole bunch of stuff around. So I don't know. YouTube keeps changing stuff around, so makes it tougher. That's why there's 10 notifications, but the only one that works because I couldn't get it to work. And so sorry about that. Hopefully that won't happen again. I remember to shrink my screen down. That's what happened. Is it hot up there? It's 27 in the Fraser Valley. It is. I don't know. It's in the high 30s or in the mid 30s, I guess. So fairly hot. You betcha. Well, you know, it's end of July, so we get that. I was in the lake and got a bit of you see a little bit of red there. So I spent the day on the lake with the boat and got a bit of a burn there. So, but good. Gets the vitamin D levels up, I guess. So. Okay, so coming up next week, Frank, you might not be good with computers, but your editing skills are excellent. Thanks. You know, and I just people ask me sometimes what kind of a program to use to edit your stuff, and see, none of my stuff is scripted. What I do is I go out with cameras and stuff, and I'll shoot about 3 hours of video or so, maybe with the drone or a bunch of other stuff, and then I just shrink that down to 30 minutes. So the more you shoot, the better stuff you get out, and you get the stuff that you don't want, right? So that's how my editing works. Makes it fairly easy. Like the skulls on the mantle, thanks. Do you ever find mines in national parks? I don't. There's not really national parks around here, so there is mines in national parks, but you know they usually try to do everything they can to fill them in or whatever, make them safe for the public. So it's not the best place to go looking for mines, unless you get some fairly remote ones. Maybe you'll do something with it. Fix the microphone. There's nothing I can do with the microphone or the picture. So you know this computer's got a built-in microphone and a camera. It is what it is. Hot as hell here in New York. Yeah, in the east, I guess it's pretty hot, eh? So, how's hay crop this year? Not too bad. I'm just about ready to cut my second crop. I'm only going to cut 2 crops this year. The reason being is the alfalfa is about 6 years old now, so it's kind of slowly, you know, starting to die out a little bit, and the grass is coming in. So, and I don't want to rip it all up and replant it. So, yeah. Do you have access to the mind maps up here in Pennsylvania? I don't even know where Pennsylvania is, to be honest. So, no, I don't. Do you think you'd wear a mask inside a cave as a joke? Well, if you wore a mask in a cave, it would be just keep the dust down. I don't think you're going to get COVID in a cave. Unless the rats got it. Don't know if you remember or not, but I asked if you could use an image in one of your vids as a wallpaper. I love your videos. Man, keep it going. Yeah, I have no problem. I mean, people copy my stuff and use it, whatever. I don't mind. Go right ahead. Come back to Yuma, Arizona. It's only 45 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty hot. Yeah, nobody in their right mind would be down there this time of year, right? But even if I wanted to go there, I couldn't because the border's closed. So there's some caves here in Kentucky. Do you use topographic maps to find mines? No, not that much. More and more, what's happening is, you know, because it got more and more. There's more. A lot of people watch my show and stuff. And I get a huge amount of mail. People saying, "Well, they know where this mine is, or know where that mine is," and I usually get people taking me to mines. That's way easier looking for them. So I'm pretty much doing that. And before I used to do everything by myself, but I get so many people now that are asking me to come along with them, and they know where there's a cool mine, and they haven't been in it, but they can show me where it is, and yeah, that's just my favorite way of doing it. Because you don't waste a lot of time, you know, trying to find stuff. So, yeah. I was just in a mine near Area 51. It was nice and cold inside. Well, usually the temperature of a mine is usually the average temperature of what it'd be outside. So, you know, if you're in a colder area, it's colder in the winter, and then the average temperature is lower. So, if you're down in Mexico or down the southern part of the States, where the average temperature is quite a bit hotter, so then it's normally quite a bit cooler. What's the stuff you're knocking out of the way in the intro on your show? Looks like some sort of deposit holding the water back. Yeah, it's in Antioch, and what it is, there's a high rainfall area, so there's probably iron oxide and stuff like that. And just a huge amount of water running down there, and the water is just picked up by the minerals, and then the mineral just deposits in there. Karen says, I've enjoyed your shows. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you do. What's the prettiest mine you've been in? The Rock Candy mine is really cool. It's a fluorite mine. It has all kinds of really colorful stuff. You did a good job on day 2 of the coal mine, getting way back in there. It was actually a little disappointing, when they said come back, we're going to go with the mine inspector. We thought we were going to go way back in about 5 miles, and the old guy he couldn't get back in there. But it was actually good because we ended up we booked a hotel, me and Sharon, for a couple of days and explored the area. And you can see we found all kinds of cool stuff, the tipple and all kinds of other stuff. So, but I was always kind of scared about going to coal mines because of the dangers and stuff. And the more, you kind of talk to people about that, and you're definitely right not to go to coal mines unless you know exactly what the hell you're doing. It's bad, It's not something you want to mess with. I'm not going to change my mind about going into coal mines. I'm not going to go exploring any coal mines of my own, that's for sure. I just got access to a 300-acre gold-bearing property in Havelock, Ontario. Can't wait to get there and prospect it. And they say it could hold between 1 ounce and 5 ounces per ton. Well, you got to ask yourself, because most of the mining was done 100 years ago, why aren't they mining it now if it's that rich? It seems almost impossible. Where's your better half? She actually lives in Red Deer in Alberta, so she's about 8 or 9 hours away. But she's retiring from her position, and she's going to move here, so you'll see more of her. Starting in August, so she's going to work till August, and then she's retired. Never hear about huge tunnels near Mount Shasta. I've never even heard of Mount Shasta. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, the finds outside are very cool. I saw the scariest exploration of a placer mine. I thought for sure it was going to collapse. What's the deepest mine you've been in? The deepest mine I was in was the Rimac, and it went down 3,000 feet. We're only able to get 1,500 feet down, and there's water below that, but 1,500 feet is as far down I've been into a... where should I go near Cherryville, east of Lumbee? You're talking about mines and stuff? There are some mines there not far from there. If you go on that road, there's a road that goes back through Christian Valley there. Geez, I can't remember what those mines are called up there. There's kind of some cool mines up there. Something Lightning Peak. Yeah, it's up by Lightning Peak, kind of between Cherryville and Edgewood in that area there. Mudcon, love your videos. Thank you. I love your vids. Don't ever cut the beard, man. My dad's a retired miner, and when he retired from mining at age 60, he was actually set good money in retirement. Yeah, we're not complaining. Why are coal mines so dangerous versus other types? The reason being is coal is organic; it's not a mineral. So basically, it's rotting. So you got a lot of methane gas. It produces a lot of gas. So you got in coal mines, you always have methane, which is a toxic gas, and you have black damp, and it's also very unstable. So mostly just because of the gas, the poisonous gases and stuff, make coal mines really dangerous. One day I make up to my museum. A lot more people are coming by here, so I guess we did a little bit more. Robin and Sharon kind of helped me out a little bit on Google Maps and stuff and put it on there. So a lot of people are just driving around and they say, "Oh, I see your museum on the internet." So we're getting a lot more people out, which is kind of cool. Do you ever get a kickback from those jeans you found? No, I didn't get anything. That was the deal when we went in there and explored the mine. We told them we'd find whatever. I'd give them whatever I found, and that's what he got. So that's we didn't get anything out of it. Got some awesome videos out of it. Anyone else gets spammed like 20 notifications for this stream? It was about 10, but probably everyone did. But that was my fault. I kept trying to go and I couldn't get the stream to start because I had the screen too big and I couldn't hit the right button there. It wasn't in the picture, so I got that figured out. So sorry about that. Will you and Glide be doing any more mines in the U.S. together? Always seems to be to find those barking spiders. I talked to him a little while ago, actually, not too long ago, and he's in Nevada. So, but like the problem is, we can't get in the States. So I don't imagine we'll be in the States this year because of the COVID thing's got the border locked down. And Gly is into kind of a different style of exploring than I am. More into the ropes and going into more extreme stuff. So, but we may, I don't know. So baling hay yet? Yeah, my first crop has been already baled. I think we started in the middle of June. So just about ready to cut the second crop. Around 80 or so in GA. So flipping hot. I can't even get into the pool. 80's not that hot, is it? Is your museum open to the public? It is. I don't have regular hours because I don't get that many people there, so people just have to call. I mean, it's right next door to my house. They come bang on my door if they wanted to, but I'm not going to sit there all day long if there's nobody there. So, people just give me a call and if I'm around and make a time, whatever, and come and see it. And I don't charge you admission either, just by donation. Glad you got it working, bro. You're welcome. Me too. Did you ever come across a pit mine inside a cave? A pit cave inside of a mine? I don't even know what that is. Do you conceal carry when going exploring mines? No, I don't. You can't carry guns around in Canada, or not handguns. You could have shotgun or something, but I mean, why would you bother? I mean, it's just more weight and hassle, and it's dirty in there, and you're just going to ruin your gun. I've never found anything I would have shot anyhow, so I don't know what I'd need a gun for. I don't know, you guys Americans seem to be more worried about stuff than we are, and we have bears and stuff, and I got attacked by a bear, and I still don't carry a gun. Yeah, like wolves and coyotes, they're not going to attack you. A bear, maybe, very rarely. Cougar, very rare that they'd ever do anything. There's not really that much to worry about. If a coal mine catches fire underground, for whatever reason, it'll burn underground. Towns have been abandoned from coal mines underground, yeah. Yeah, that can happen. Sharon's been a great addition to the show. She's a brave lady. Well, thank you, and I think so too. It's really cool. 80 Fahrenheit is hot. Well, 70 is room temperature, so it's not crazy hot. It's warmish. Richard says, hi, Frank. Hi, Richard. I'd warheat all your videos in Nevada. Very cool. Whatever that means, I don't know. If you had the chance to travel to the center of the earth like Jules Verne, would you record and edit a show for us? Well, without giving too much away, I mean, the thing that Scott proposed for TV is kind of along those lines. So you might be seeing that. I don't think we get to the center. It's pretty warm down there, I hear. Hello from John in Texas. Hi, love your stuff, brother. Hello, John. 80 Fahrenheit is hot. It was 100 last week. Yeah, 100 is hot. Pretty hot. 80 not so much. What's the most unusual geological feature you've seen, and what was it? I don't know. I guess I don't know if that's unusual, but I enjoy serpentinite, which is the bottom of an ocean floor. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it's unusual, though. I don't think so. What's the weather like where you live right now? It's sunny and hot, fairly hot anyway. So I don't know how hot, maybe in the 90s. What's the most valuable item you've lost exploring mines? I don't know, maybe a rope. Are you going to the Ice Palace this year? We were in there a little while ago. Yeah, probably. It's not very far from here. Well, Joe, give me $5. Thanks, Joe. What's the favorite rock you like to find in mines? So, well, rock or mineral, right? We're splitting hairs. The rocks aren't usually that interesting. It's usually the minerals that are interesting. Hey, brother, love the show. When we were kids, we tried to dig a hole in the side of a hill, but only got a few feet before we hit granite. Well, then you have to drill it and blast it. Keep going. 8 o'clock in Bangkok. Make breakfast and listen in. How's the COVID thing in Bangkok? I guess it must be probably pretty bad there because lots of people there in a small area. Did you bring the mine cat skeleton back to the museum? No, I didn't. We didn't bring any dead critters from the States home. Have you explored any copper mines in northern Michigan? I've never been there. What's your favorite mineral that you have explored? I don't know, gold is cool, I guess. I mean, yeah, who doesn't like gold, eh? Silver, I kind of like galena, which is silver, zinc, and lead, which is kind of neat. Were any of the mines that you filmed in the States available for claim purchase? Yeah, some of them. So that company that's called I can't think. If you look on my links of my other channels or whatever, if you look on my main page and it says links to other channels, there's a guy there that buys and sells claims. So he's got them all for sale. Can't remember what the channel's called now. My neighboring ranch owner was killed by a black bear taking out the trash. The bear had been dispatched living on a private ranch. Is great. Yeah, they can get a little nasty sometimes. Your favorite mineral? Well, I guess serpentinite. I like serpentinite. That's kind of cool. So yeah. Your ceiling seems very high. Yeah, it is. It's probably about 20 feet high. The problem in GA, which is Georgia, right? The humidity is so high. That makes 80 feel like uncomfortable. 113 here in Yuma, but it's dry. But yeah, right. Please come to Scotland. I don't think that's on the agenda. I'd rather go to Paris. I'd like to go to the catacombs. That 1880s Levi's found by Yuma was cool. Yeah. Thailand, 0 domestic COVID in 58 days. I wouldn't believe that, but that's what they tell you. What's the favorite mine you've explored? Hard to say. Some of the big ones, I guess, Phoenix, Antioch, the Rimac. We were just in a really cool mine, the Jersey Emerald. We just did a bunch of filming. You'll see it next little while. It's really cool. You could drive a truck in there. It's massive. Do you leave a trail behind to find your way back out? You mean like Hansel and Gretel, breadcrumbs? No, you usually just use the right-hand rule. I know most people that I go into mines with, they kind of get confused and turn around underground. For some reason, I don't have much trouble finding my way underground. Even though I can't find my car in the parking lot if I go to the mall, but I can actually navigate it better underground than I can on the surface, it seems. Do you think you'd make a good prospector? Not really. I mean, I don't know really enough about minerals and stuff. If you were to move to the States for any reason, what state would you move to? Well, Hawaii seems nice. I don't know. I've never been to Hawaii. I guess there's it's the same thing as you guys. There's different places that are nice, and like Colorado, them kind of places are nice in the summer, so a little cooler. Too much snow there in the winter, so probably different areas or different regions are nice for different times of year. So I don't know. I haven't been enough to make a decision. Have you ever found silver? Yeah, we have a bunch of silver and stuff in the museum, galena and stuff. So yeah. Wish the Thailand government be open to tourists who want to go there. Well, if there's no COVID there, so they say, why wouldn't it be open to tourists? What kind of tunes do you listen to? Classic rock, so AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. Ever spent any time in Sudbury? No, but I hear they got a big nickel there. I think I might have flown over it. The nickel. There's two people from Sudbury there. Yeah, there's a big nickel mine that's there. All right, what's the coolest thing you've ever found in a mine? Geez, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I mean, probably the last thing you found in a mine always seems cool. What's the first mine you explored? And have you been back there? The first mine I ever explored, I was about 25 years old. I went into the Noble 5 up in Sandon. It's all collapsed. You can't get in there anymore. 10 attempted streams later. Here we go. Yeah, sorry about that, but it's me. I'm stupid, I guess. I got my screen too big and I couldn't see the right button to get it to go. But, YouTube, they change things around, so you got to keep doing different things. It's not the way it used to be. How much worse would COVID thing be 100 years ago when everyone would go to church together, pray, and not social distance? That's why catacombs are under a church. Well, the last time the Spanish flu came, there was also the First World War was happening. So all the soldiers and stuff were in barracks, and then the government was trying to downplay it. And, they didn't want the enemy to know that anyone was sick. And then they sent soldiers over, from America and stuff, where it was really bad there, into ships and stuff to fight the war. And by the time they got there, like half of them, just about all of them had it, because, so, yeah, it was a lot worse then. I don't know if the disease was any worse, but the way they handled it was a lot worse, probably about the same. Yeah. In notifications, yeah. You ever found any gold in the mines? Yeah, probably, but gold in gold mines is normally microscopic. So I've got some ore that has quite a bit of gold in it. Actually, I found a real cool case of dynamite, and it said "save" on it from 1952, and it was in a gold mine. It's got a bunch of ore. It's really heavy, so it's probably got a lot of ore, a lot of gold in it. But you can't see it, right? So there you go. That answers that question. We found any gold mines. So yeah, there's gold there, but there's no way to get it out. So. There are lots of mines in Michigan. Would you ever try a visit? It's a long way. It's like 4,000 miles from here. I mean, there's probably 100,000 mines that are closer than that. So yeah, it's a long ways away. My father worked in the salt mine under some lake. There's a few stories about that place. When's Gabe going to make an appearance again? I don't know. He maybe talks about coming to Canada sometime. I don't know if he got a passport, but of course the border's closed, so I'm not sure. Don't worry about the extra streams. Frank, we like you. Well, thanks, buddy. All right. Do you talk much about Cornwall, UK? Do you know much about Cornwall, UK and its tin mining history, tin mining the capital of the world? No, I don't talk about it much. I've never been there, so. I know a lot of the technology from a lot of the mining stuff did come from the UK and stuff because they mined coal there for way before that even. So I probably know more about the technology and how well they mined there for a long time. It's an older country. So, did you ever get hurt exploring a mine? A little while ago, a couple months ago, I was going up in by Weimar there in that mine there, and a big rock hit me in the shoulder. A rope came loose and it was quite steep, and a big rock hooked the shoulder, and the whole of my shoulder and my arm were black for quite a while, but it didn't break anything. Catacombs not necessarily under the churches. Catacombs are filled with bones and bodies because they ran out of graves. Not really true. In Paris, they only keep the bodies in the graveyards for 100 years, and then they dig them up and do something else, and then resell the grave to someone else. So they just dig them up and they put the bones under there. So the catacombs were actually they mined all that out of there for all the stone and stuff they used to build the city. So that was actually a big underground quarry. So then they just stuck the bones down there. I found some gold in tailings. You can find some gold just about everywhere. You can find it in the sewer. What's your favorite place to prospect? I don't prospect. Do you live on the West Coast? No, I'm about 5 hours east of the coast in British Columbia. So, do you acknowledge the philosophy of getting in before the riffraff? I think you're just highly amused by that, and other people are too, I guess. I mean, I think you're as much the riffraff as anyone else. So I think it's a case of like kettle calling the pot black. Any mine overseas you explore outside North America? There's usually some cool mines in Russia, but I don't know. It's just a whole different culture, and now you get a lot of trouble over there. I don't want to be exploring any gulags back in Russia, but it's in the Ukraine and Russia and stuff. It looks like there was like lots of cool mines and stuff, and kind of things are. It's a little bit more like the Wild West there. A little bit, you can kind of do whatever you want there. I guess if you pay off the right people, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can go up there and fly in a fighter jet and get enough money if you want. Okay. How do you find your way back out of a mine? Do you mark a path? Not really. I mean, it's like a it goes like that. It's like you go up and there's branches, and then if you're going the other way, they join the other branches, right? So it's kind of almost like you're at the top of a tree and you're coming down on the trunk, right? So it's not really that hard. How's the weather up here where you live? Well, summertime, so it's warm here in the summer, so it gets. Maybe you guys don't understand that, but it gets as hot as 40 degrees here, which is, I don't know, 105, 6 maybe. Right-hand rule, yeah. I didn't realize you don't prospect. Did you at one time? Did you ever get the mining bug? No. I don't know. Like a lot of people think they're going out there and get rich, get a bunch of gold. Frankly, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, 100 years ago, this whole area was all full of mines. All these people mined that. They got all the easy stuff there was to get. They worked way harder than us. They're way smarter, better at finding gold, and they got it all. Pretty much. There's a little bit left in here, but there wasn't enough for them to even continue. And these people know way more about mining than we'll ever know. And they work hard. I mean, it was like they barely made enough to survive, and they were, yeah. You missed Sharon's post. Oh no, I'm gonna be in trouble. I didn't see her post, but sorry about that, dear. I didn't see her post. But there's so many people that comment. You can't read every one. You kind of skip them a little bit, right? So, she's just driving back home from visiting her mom on the weekend. So, in Golden. So that's kind of my thing, Golden, I guess. Is it a band of mine silent, or if you sit still, can you hear the mountain? You can't hear the mountain. The only thing you usually hear in there is water. You have water running and stuff that makes it kind of an eerie sound sometimes. Do you have any plans to visit any Comstock gold mines in Virginia City, Nevada? That'd be a cool place to visit. I'd like to get there sometime. How do you usually mine? I don't mine. I just explore abandoned mines and I try to kind of preserve the history. I got a big museum and stuff, and it's kind of interesting since I started doing this. We got people around here really don't give a rat's ass about mines all that much. You'll never see anyone that lives around here on this thing here, on a live chat or something. There's nobody here from Grand Forks around here, and very few people even come to my museum. All the people that are interested in this kind of stuff are from other parts of the country that come from all over the place. And since I started doing this about Phoenix and stuff, there's been a lot of people that's traveled here and hiked through the mines and checked out the mines and explored them. And all these really cool mines around here. A lot of tourists come here and look at these mines, and nobody cared about them before. So it's kind of interesting. I feel happy to be a part of that, where people are interested and they're enjoying them. So I think it's pretty neat. Like in the States and stuff, in Arizona and stuff, a lot more people are interested in mines, and they see a lot of traffic. And most of these mines nobody goes to because nobody cares about them here. And even though we have a lot of mines. Do you ever watch Gold Rush? What are your thoughts? I do watch it, and the reason that what I do like about it is, well, Tony's dredge and stuff, but the characters and stuff are good, and it's a good story. But, the general premise of the show, it's kind of about as exciting as watching someone operate a gravel pit with a little bit of gold coming out. They're just putting a huge amount of gravel through machines, and a little bit of gold comes out. But I kind of do enjoy that, like there's some of the challenges you run out with equipment and stuff and how they fix it and the drama and stuff, and it's entertaining. So. I think I'd make a way better show about exploring mines than that, but yeah. But I do watch it, so it's one of my favorite shows. I guess I'm asking, what made you want to make your channel and/or exploring bad mines? Thanks for your answers. I'm a big fan. Well, actually, I thought when I first went into mines, I thought, well, this is so cool. If I do a few YouTube things, a bunch of producers are going to watch this and they're going to have this on history because it's more interesting than anything that's on TV now. But that was 6 years ago, and it hasn't happened yet. So. But anyhow, so we've had fun along the road doing it. So that was the first idea. If Frank wasn't doing what he's doing, a lot of this history would be lost forever. Thanks for doing it. And a lot of stuff, I get a lot of flack, and people in California just hate me because if I go in a mine, I see something interesting, I'll take it from my museum and put it in there. But really, most of the stuff in my museum I've bought, had donated to me because there was collections of stuff and people died, and they were just and they gave it to me. And I had a lot of stuff that I bought for some auctions, and I got a little bit of stuff out of mines. But in any case, I don't have a problem with people taking stuff out of mines and put it on eBay. I buy lots of stuff off of eBay. So so long as if a mine is not a good place for artifacts to stay. Like most of the stuff that's in mines, like the powder boxes, they're all rotten and rusted. There's nothing left of them. The odd time you get lucky and find something that's worth saving, but it's the worst place to keep stuff. And then they're getting filled in, they're rotting, they're falling down. I think most of the people that bitch about me taking stuff out of mines are just jealous I didn't see it first, so they could take it. I think if you're taking it, preserving it, and trying to save it for the next generation, I think it's an honorable thing to do. So, I mean, not everyone's going to agree with it. I don't care. It can't make anyone happy. So. Any more collaboration with Gly in the future? Maybe 911 Mining or Jeff Williams? Yeah, I'd really like to. I talked to Jeff a bunch of times. We'd really like to do something with Jeff. He's just a real entertaining guy. Maybe we could do something with Gly. I don't know. If we happen to be in the same area, we probably bump into each other and do some stuff together. So it's a little tough because he's doing a show and I'm doing a show. So it's kind of like Ford and Chevy gotten together, to make a new car or something. We're kind of doing our own thing. So. And like I say, what he does is a little different than what I do, but he's a cool guy, and we do keep in touch and we talk about these different things. And I give him shit a bunch of stuff. And I said, I can't believe that you would go down a ladder in a mine. Get yourself a damn rope. I mean, you can't trust some old. Okay, anyways. So maybe he'll buy some rope. I don't know, but he does stuff that I wouldn't do. I mean, I would never trust some old ladders. I've had him collapse on me. They look good, and then you're going down, and you don't know. Just because it's on a landing somewhere, you don't know if that landing's any good. Someone could have thrown a rock down there. It could be all broken, and you step on it. Away you go, right? Yeah, it's happened to my dog. You just step on something, and you could. I wouldn't go down. I have, but if it's straight up and down a ladder, I wouldn't go on it without a rope. You shouldn't. I explored a solid granite mine in Baker, California. I went straight in the mountain about a quarter mile. One of my bucket list items is to visit your museum and have a beer with Frank, and that's what lots of people do. That they bring beer and we drink some beer. So that's kind of one of my favorite things to do: talk about mines and drink beer. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, And we get young kids and stuff coming here, and they're so excited about it, and they ask questions and stuff, and it's really cool. I really enjoy that part of it. What's the strangest thing you ate in a mine for lunch? I don't know. I'm a pretty boring guy. Probably just a sandwich. Do you need permission to enter, or is it like nobody stops it? You're good. Well, the law here, whatever. If it's private property, it's not illegal to actually go into it or on it. But if it's enclosed, which means there's a fence around it and there's signs saying it's private property, then it's illegal to be on posted land. So if it was private and it was posted, then you'd be breaking the law, right? But it's a $200 fine. So really, if it's a mining company or something, I should just give them a check for $200, or they just send me an invoice. I mean, but anyhow, I've never been convicted of trespassing or had to pay a fine for going into any mines. But I learned a long time ago, you're actually stupid to ask, because if you were to ask someone, then you go to the mine, they said no, then you could be committing an offense because you've already been told it's private, you're not allowed in there. So it's an exception to that enclosed land. If someone tells you that's private property, get off of it, not come back, you come back, then you're actually trespassing. So probably the less you say about where you go, the better. If you're just going there to take pictures, who cares anyways? Should be anyways. But the main thing they're worried about is that, well, if you post it on YouTube, then other people will see there, and then more people will come into that mine. That's what the problem is, or how they see it. I could point to many, many places in Colorado if you're interested. Yeah, there's lots of places in Colorado. Can't get there because you can't get in the States right now. And the problem generally is because I'm a farmer here and I got a hay crop. It's only free of ice and snow for a few months of the year, and usually busy farming here. So it's two things, right? His recent series was all ladders. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm headed to Colorado tomorrow. I'd like to show the kids. Headed to Silverton. So there's a Silverton here in BC too, but obviously it's silver. It's a common name. R.I.P. Max. Actually, I was just watching. When he died, I was filming stuff, and I've never released or anything. But and that was like 3 years ago, and I was actually just watching some of that footage for the first time. Thanks for saving history, Frankenstein. God bless. You're welcome. I enjoy it, and I'm glad people that appreciate that, and I get something out of it. I get a lot out of it. I'm still intrigued about how square sit timbering works. It was an expensive technique. It was very expensive because they had to use a huge amount of wood and haul it in there, and it was slow. So what they did after that is they just left pillars. So that was a lot cheaper to do it that way. So it was around 1900 when they when they kind of got away from square set and just ended up going to pillar, right? So did the dog die in a mine? Yeah, it was just a small little mine. It was a transfer down to a lower level. So it was a shaft going straight down about 600 feet. And there was, he just went ahead of me, and I guess he couldn't see that well, or it wasn't even that dark in there. It didn't even have a light. He just ran ahead of me and stepped on a rotten timber or something and fell down the shaft. You're awesome. Thanks for answering my questions. Hit the Comstock history. Yeah. Brett Young, come back to Utah. You can take my Harley for a ride. Yeah, I used to ride. I used to ride them and stuff, but then got into flying and had more fun with that because I didn't get any tickets. I remember getting 2 speeding tickets one day on my Harley one year. It's hard to drive the speed limit on a Harley. Now the mummified animals are cool in mines. Yeah, it's so dry there. I was raised in the high Mojave Desert of Ridgecrest, California. So Ridgecrest is close to Atolia, which is a really cool place. And I definitely like to go back into that area. Yeah, Randsburg, Ridgecrest. I guess it's the same area. Crash anything lately? Airplanes you don't get along? No, actually, I'm just doing some work on my powered parachute where it's still screwing around with it. I can't get it running properly. I have some problems with the controls and stuff, so we're gonna do some work on it. Hopefully we can get that ironed out. So you probably covered this, but did the Levi's that you found sell? So did you get a cut? As far as I know, they didn't sell. It's really none of my business. The deal was that I explore the mine and I give anything I found to him, so he did whatever he wanted with it. So it's I don't talk to him, so I don't know what he did with them. Hi Frank, glad you see that live. I'm glad you got to see the live stream working. Yeah, me too. Are you still adding relics to your museum? Yeah. So we're in the last thing. We're in that coal mine, and we got kind of something cool. It's an old rail stat from a Westinghouse power controller. So we're fixing that up, throwing it in. And one thing that's really cool, so we got the air in the mine in the museum now. So we have the mucker and the air power chainsaw and drills and stuff hooked up to air because I got a 25 horsepower big air compressor, and I can run the mining machines and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. When people come to the museum, you can fire up that equipment. So yeah. Butte, Montana, 10,000 miles underground working. So okay, well that sounds cool. Love watching Frank. I think mostly it's mental. So yeah, a lot. I mean, I tell a lot of people all the time. They're going up inside a raise or something like that. They think it's kind of steep, and I think, well, if you're on the outside, you wouldn't think it was no big deal scrambling up something like that. What's the difference? Just because you're underground and it's dark. Hey, this is Chris from Seattle. Just wanted to know, what's the largest thing you've ever extracted from a mine? Probably an ore bucket, a fairly large ore bucket we got. There was a slusher that was pretty big, but we went in there with the side-by-side or with the quad and pulled it out. So yeah, one of them two things. Please come to the UK. We'll put you up for free. Yeah, I didn't even know where I would go in the UK, or it's most people say that everything's all covered up in the UK and you can't get underground, and other people say there's all kinds of stuff. So I don't even know what the truth of the matter is about it. Yeah, if you ever researched any of the mines in Joshua Tree National Park in Southern California, I thought Joshua Tree was in Arizona, because we went through on the way up to, we went through a similar place. I've never heard of it in California. You should fix up the stamp mill. That'd be badass. But so what we're planning on doing is we're planning on building a tram, a gravity tram. So we'll have 2 towers, and the way the gravity tram works. Oh man, you guys get a lot of sun here, but it don't matter, I guess. The way a gravity tram works is you use the weight, right? So the one on the top there, fill it full of ore, and then it brings the empty one up, and then it goes back and forth. So you have a big tram tower on top and another one down there. So we could rig it up where actually people could sit in it and then go to the bottom and run the brakes. It would be cool to have an operating gravity tram. I'd like to do that. Hey Frankie, excited for winter? It's barely summer. No, not yet. Plane crashed into Lake Champlain here. 30 minutes south of Canada? No, it wasn't me. Any plans to hit up the Homestake mine in Lead, South Dakota? It's the deepest gold mine in the USA. Nope. Joshua Tree mines, there's a lot of vertical shafts. In Death Valley, I'd like to spend some more time in Death Valley, but again, the border's closed, so I don't even know if we're going to get south this winter even. Didn't the company say they wanted to get you to access working mines recently? Yeah, it was a company that does drone footage and custom logging and does maps and stuff for mines. They was wanting to get me in there. So Joshua Tree National Park has a lot of been explored in eastern Coachella Valley. I've been out there a few times. Never dared going down with the rope. Yeah. Hey Frank, I'm going to watch your channel since the beginning. First of all, I'd like to say that if you learned so much from you, and want to thank you for all your time and effort. Well, you're welcome, and I've learned a lot too, and especially from people that mine underground and stuff. Lots of times you look at something and then you have a theory about what it was or how it operated, and then someone sends you, an email or something, say, hey, you're a dumbass, it's not this, it's that, or whatever, and then it's a really cool way to learn about stuff. I really like the active and modern mine stuff just as much as the old stuff. Yeah, audio is supposed to be like that. I don't know. I guess it crackles sometimes, and nothing I can do with it. I don't even know where the mic is on this thing somewhere. If you get, I can send you a private message, just some maps of there and exactly where it's at. Your mic is crackling. I hear that all the time. There's nothing I can do about it. Maybe I can sit closer. I don't know if that would help. Once you might try to explore some India's coal fields. Has been, I'm not going in any coal mines, especially not in India. And their standards would be like so low there as the roads aren't even fit to drive on. Where's the boss woman at? She doesn't live with me. She lives in Alberta, so she's on her way home. But she is moving in, so you'll see her around here more in the future. Don't sweat it, then. I wanted you to be aware. I really enjoy your videos. There's so many people talking to me, I don't really know who's talking to me about what. So, where'd you learn your rope skills? Begin with online, I guess. So I Googled a bunch of stuff and learned a few things here and there. And then a bunch of people kind of talked to me about some stuff. And more learn from our mistakes, I guess. Luckily, they weren't too severe. Given the chance, you should check out the mines near Tacopa. I don't even know where that is. All right, Frank, we're not talking about getting married. No, we've both done that. So we're trying to, it's kind of like that rope thing. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes, right? Why ruin a good relationship by getting married? All right, not that guy. What made you decide to start the channel? Well, I'm kind of interested in filmmaking, and we were making some aviation stuff. Nobody was interested in it. People were more interested in the mine stuff, so it was just something that people were interested in. And then I got more interested in it. All right, I'm not sure what you're talking about, electronic interference. When's your son coming back? He was cool. Well, he lives on the island, and there's no planes flying or anything with the COVID thing, so doesn't really have any way of getting up here. What do you do for a living throughout your life? I had a large cattle ranch, and they trucked in the oil patch, trucking, hauled cattle, had sawmills, that kind of stuff. If I had a nickel for all the times he was told, marriage is always a mistake. Keep it if it works for you. Well, I was married for 10 years. It was okay, but then, when it wasn't fun anymore, we got divorced. And it was, it's got its ups and downs. I don't know. How much time does it take to set up a CBM plant? I don't even know what a CBM plant is. What do you think about Honda? I think it's probably one of my favorite brands, I guess. Like I had water pumps and a whole bunch of other stuff, and side by side, never have any trouble with it. It's by far, I think the best bike or whatever you can get. All you ever do is change oil and fill the gas. Having said that, my starter screwed up waiting for a new starter, but you hardly ever have any trouble with it. So I'm a big fan of Honda, my man. So. Okay, so so I was telling you, we got a big Tram Special coming up. This is really cool. This guy, he got a tram that was built back in 1895, and he hired a helicopter for about $100,000. Helicoptered the whole thing out and rebuilt it. You know, just like new. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to talk lots about trams and stuff. You'll see that. A timber harvester Canadian portable sawmill. Never heard of that. How's alfalfa this year? Well, it's about the same every year because you know we got irrigated, right? So um, yeah, it's getting a little tired. How's the Spaz 12 shooting kicks like a mule, doesn't it? Oh, that's Kevin's gun. I guess I don't know. Don't find it that bad. I guess I don't know. I haven't shot. I've only shot maybe once. 1880s. The track is well intact. You mean from the tram? The aerial tram runs on cables, so there's no track. You're thinking of an incline railroad. Also known as Alaskan chainsaw mill. Well, that's not much of a mill. Basically, you just take and put a track on a chainsaw. I had some. If you go on my other channel, there's a video. I had a sawmill, like one that run off a tractor with a 48-inch head rig. So we cut lots of railway ties and stuff. So we did a whole bunch of 50s technology. But yeah. With haymaking money, I bought my first Honda 50, a mini bike. Yeah, I used to have a Keystone mini bike, but it was a piece of junk. It broke down all the time. I had a Briggs & Stratton motor, I think, in it. But yeah. I thought it was a rail track. My bad. Yeah. Coal bed methane, which makes coal more eco-friendly. Okay, so yeah, don't know nothing about it. There isn't any coal mines around here. Most of the coal that we have, they use it to make steel. It goes to Japan, and they ship it to Japan for making steel, I guess. When you're Arizona, did you make it to Jerome? No, I didn't. Further north, I was never there. Normally, Briggs are good engines. Not really. The Honda's makes way better engines than a Briggs & Stratton. I used to have a Briggs & Stratton on my irrigation thing, and it was a pain in the ass. Bought a Honda, and that thing can sit all year and starts on the first pull. They're way better than Briggs & Stratton. I recently built an Alaskan chainsaw mill, cut my first cherry tree up. I'm giddy to make furniture ahead of it. It's like those band mills, you know, they're so slow. If you ever run a head saw rig, they would drive you crazy having a band mill. I'm in Somerset, UK. We have mines no one's been into since 1850s. There's still access to them. So coal mines were another level of crazy. A lot of people died in coal mines, but it was just the cost of doing business back then. Where's your cold beverage? I had a few earlier, but just drinking water now. Any updates on the History Channel program? No, nothing I can really tell you other than, you know, there's a show, if you guys seen it on History, there's a company called Mayhem Entertainment that produces it. It's called Rust Valley Restorers. It's the same company that I'm working with. And it's actually some of the people who are on that show or on the show I'm going to be on this fall. So, all right. So, what draws you to explore defunct mines? You ever hope to discover outside of Levi's? What would you love to explore? Well, it's the same reason a guy goes cruising around the bush or whatever. You just kind of always want to see what's around that next corner. So you see all kinds of cool stuff. Do you have any major explorers planned for this season? Yeah, we're going to head up to Stewart, me and Sharon. So we're going to take a big long trip up there. There's lots of mines up in there, the Porter, Idaho, and the Premier, and a bunch of big mines up there. They call it the Golden Triangle. So it's still in BC, but it's like very close to Alaska, to the southern part of Alaska. I've seen the Rust Valley. Yeah, it's a pretty cool show. So Rust Valley Restorers. So the one guy in there, I don't know if you've seen him the odd time in there, his name is Dave. He's in the show that I'm in. He comes up here, and we're going to ground him. Have you ever used a honey bucket? No, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Love your channel. Lived in the Fraser Valley. Did my best to locate the mines that I could. There's some around Hope, I've heard. I live in West Virginia. Most of our jobs come from coal. It's a dangerous living, but our economy relies on it. My whole family are coal miners, but of course, mining on the surface is a lot safer than the small old veins that they followed underground. Check out the Emancipation Mine near Hope and the Carolyn gold mine. I don't think you can get into the Carolyn anymore. I think there's a mining company in there. It's all blocked off. Why are there no mines in places like Mississippi? What, do we not have proper ore? Well, I think it's flatter there, so a lot of the mines and the reason metals and stuff are through hydrothermal events and stuff. So it's basically earthquakes and volcanoes and the ground's moving and stuff. Outside the jeans, what's your best find? I don't know. I guess dynamite box. I like dynamite boxes. They're kind of fun. I like Dynamax. Loonies and Toonies. Surface mining is illegal in West Virginia. It's all underground. Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't think that they mined coal on. Sure, I find that hard to believe, actually. Are there any mines in the U.S. that are good for the advanced miner? Started at 14, now I'm 41. Mississippi's a drainage ditch. Are there any mines in the U.S. that are good for the advanced miner? About 900 feet. Which mines excavate anthracite coal? Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a couple different types of coal. I don't really know that much about it. So if in Colorado, you should check out the Eagle Mine near the abandoned town of Gilman. I've yet to see a detailed exploration of this massive mine complex. I've not heard of Gilman. Do you know of any mines around Delaware, Maryland? Nope. I'm at -3 sea level, so I'm assuming not. No, yeah, they would be definitely full of water. And back in the old days, they pumped a lot of water out of mines because a lot of places they mined, they pumped water out of them. I've enjoyed videos regarding the crow's nest. Visited the area when I was younger and didn't grasp the depth of the operations there. There's not that. I don't think there's any coal mines that are active there. Not much. There's one they're going to fire back up, but more on the BC side around Sparwood where that big truck was there. There's some big coal mines there. Teck has got some, but they're not underground operation. They're surface. So there's been a pretty long history of coal mining there. And actually, so when they had this smelter in Grand Forks when Phoenix was running, they had the largest smelter in the British Commonwealth, but so they had larger ones in the States. That's where this British Commonwealth thing comes from. But anyways, all the coal came from there. So trainloads of coal, huge amounts of coal. The cement industry is a larger commodity now than coal. Hey Frank, what percentage of mines that you've explored are considered mom and pop type mines, or are the mines you explored basically commercial mining projects? Well, most of all the mines I explored were old mines, right? So they were pretty big projects 100 years ago, and basically they're mined out and shut down. So that's basically what we're exploring, abandoned mines, right? I haven't been to very many mines that are still operating, and lots of those mines that someone still has the mineral rights to it, but there's nothing really there. So, but junior mining companies, they like to go in there and do some tests or something, see if something got missed. Usually not. I see a lot of white mold on old timbers. Any risks like with black mold? Not that I know of. You probably don't want to be eating the stuff or breathing it in, I guess. Maybe it causes respiratory infections if you have trouble with the respiratory system. I haven't heard of that, but if you had to pick one video as your best time favorite, which episode would it be and why? I guess probably either the best of Antioch or the best of Phoenix, because there was a whole bunch of videos that we kind of picked all the highlights from. And I'm probably going to be doing the same thing in Arizona. Like, I got a lot more videos sitting around there that we haven't used, and lots of it. So I'm going to probably try maybe next week, or it'll be a while till you see it. But I think I'll probably have maybe this, because I got a bunch of stuff I didn't make movies out of, but we did so much stuff there. So Want to do that? Do you guys burn much coal up in Canada for electric generation? Yeah, they do in Alberta or in Saskatchewan. I think all their electricity is from coal. In BC, because mostly mountains, a lot more hydroelectricity. So mostly it's hydro generates electricity here. What does a bale of hay go for here? Well, $50, but they're 500-pound bales, so it'll be 10 cents a pound, which would only be 7 cents American, I guess. The Liberals are trying to phase out coal power. Do you believe in the lost Dutchman's mine? Not really. I mean, with all the people that have been looking for that mine, and there's one in Canada, the same thing, the Slumax Gold. There's been thousands of people looking for it for the last 100 years. So, you would think it was there, it would have been found by now, So, I like the Phoenix videos. Yeah, Phoenix is pretty cool. We're looking back at some of the old ones. The filmmaking skills have improved since, and editing has improved since then. But yeah, that's it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool mine for sure. The last question: when is your next visit to Colorado? I've never been to Colorado, so I would say my first visit to Colorado. We talked about you showing me some secret spots. Well, the border's closed, so we couldn't even get to the States. So, not anytime soon. Excuse me. Have you checked out Mal's Hole? No, I've heard something about it, but yeah, I don't know. What's the future of mining in respect to shifting culture of renewable sources of energy? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe all the protesters and the people would be more worried about COVID than, I don't know, than I would think probably natural gas, or probably using natural gas for generating electricity and stuff more. It's kind of funny, like all the environmentalists and stuff, they think, well, the answer to global warming is everyone switches over to electric cars. Well, that's all fine and well, but how are we going to generate electricity? I don't think they've thought that far ahead. Bless you. Thank you. How much do you charge to come and look at your mining museum? I don't charge anything for it. There's a donation box there. Any chance of getting more than one video a week? No. If you want to watch more, you can watch the 215 old ones. I'm sure you haven't seen all of them. This takes up enough time as it is. I was familiar with it's enough work making one a week, I'll tell you. I'm looking forward to it. Keeps me uranium mining is big in the Saskatchewan north, but they're tough mines to get into. And I don't think I really want to go in a uranium mine either, right? There's radiation, right? Some of them are so hot that they're mined remotely. They don't even have miners in them. They just have machines that do it. So, yeah. So, and the other thing they mine in Saskatchewan is potash, which is kind of interesting. They make fertilizer out of that. Highly recommended looking at all the old vids. Yeah. Have you visited any diamond mine yet? No. I mean, there's some in South Africa, different places in Africa, and there is in Canada's north. There's big Diavik and stuff, but they wouldn't let me in there. Do you have a preferred brand of flashlight for exploring? Well, for my helmet, I like those Fenix ones, but now I'm using this other miner's lamp that seems to be working good. I haven't had no complaints about it. I was wondering about it because it's got a really bright light, but it's a small pinpoint, which is really good for seeing further away, but kind of washes stuff out. But people seem to be happy with it. They haven't complained about it, so I could probably try to use that one more. But the Fenix lights work really well. It's kind of different just exploring than filming. It's two different things. You get more radiation on the plane ride there. Sorry, I missed it. Are you doing any more flying? Well, I have a powered parachute. So the last plane that I wrecked, I took the engine out of it, which was a 912 Rotax, 80 horsepower, and built a powered parachute. So we're having some problems with the instrumentation and electronics and stuff. We need to get the carbs balanced. We're going to get that all done. So hopefully we'll be able to get going and do some more flying with that. Halo Miska, that's about all I can understand with that sentence there. You don't want to go to South Africa at the moment. Last Sunday in Phoenix, it was 116. Yeah, she's hot there. It's kind of funny in Phoenix. The population is half what it is in the wintertime. Like everyone, it's a nice place in the wintertime to go down there. Not so nice in the summer, unless you like 116. There's a video on YouTube of someone stomping on an asbestos mine with no mask on. Seems a little less than ideal. Well, you know, if you work with it all the time, it's kind of a chronic exposure or something. And probably if you walk through it one time, maybe it wouldn't be as bad, but wouldn't be advisable either. There's not too many asbestos mines left anymore. I think we've shut most of them down. What drone do you use, Frank? I have a DJI Phantom 4. So I've had 4 of them. So, have you visited the Alice mine near Drumheller? I have not. Actually, I just heard about that today. I seen a thing, and they have a tipple there, and it's kind of a tourist thing there. But no, I haven't been there. I've been to Drumheller, but not to the jail either. Just to see the Royal Tyrrell Museum and the dinosaurs and in the Badlands. Pretty cool place. It's like I guess South Dakota or North Dakota in the Badlands. It's sort of like that. It's a miniature Badlands or the Drumheller area. Pretty cool. You go along, it's just flat, and all of a sudden there's a big hole there, and it changes, eh? So awesome. Love the vids. Stay safe. Thanks. Frank, have a good night. Thanks for bringing history back to life. You're welcome. I'm a Rio Tinto employee. Have you ever visited a Rio Tinto mine? I have not. I think they had some stuff. I was in some mines that they owned at some point, and I think they had a silver mine or something down in Mexico. But the mining companies don't like me. Well, you know, there's been a couple of mines where they invited me in to have a look. You know, they got some free publicity out of it, but generally speaking, I've had no luck getting into any operating mines. Yeah, I'm not popular around mining companies. Telic mine was interesting. Now there's a lawsuit from people getting cancer from it. Oh, I don't know. You know, maybe there's too many lawyers in some places, huh? Any plans to head back to Mexico? Enjoyed that series. There isn't really. You know, the main reason I went to Mexico is because I couldn't get in the States, but now I get in the States. So the States is just a lot easier to explore mines because, you know, you can bring your own vehicle down there and, you know, they speak the language and it's just a lot easier. Mexico is difficult if you don't speak the language well and the culture is different. So probably not, no. The Rio Tinto YouTube videos are great. Probably not as good as mine, right? Sounds like you got the cerveza bug. Hope not. Maybe. Amazing landscape and some interesting geology. The equipment collection in Atlas is pretty extensive, and the tipple is really interesting. Lots of history there. Yeah, I know the tipple seems like the stupidest thing ever. I know, but you know, so the idea behind a tipple is they just take a coal car and they strap it in a drum and turn it upside down and then shake the coal out and then. But you got to do it one car at a time, so it seems kind of crazy. And the Granby car is way smarter. They invented that over like 100 years ago. So the car just comes along and it has like a wheel on the one side and a ramp. So as it comes along, it gets tipped like that, and then it just goes back. So the train just goes by slowly and everything dumps out. You don't have to unhook nothing. Seems to be the genius thing. I don't know. They're still made today, so I don't know. I always thought the tipple was kind of a crazy way of doing it, but. I don't know why they would use the tipple, but yeah. Actually, they unload big coal cars on Roberts Bank like that too. They roll them upside down, but those are big cars. So labor was cheaper than mechanical means. Well, nobody shoveled the coal cars out, but Frank, could you give me a pickaxe and send it to me, man? No. Didn't you rescue one of those Granby cars? No, I never did. I've got the old cars that they had before they had the Granby cars, so they were just wooden carts that were pulled by mules and stuff. They tipped over, but you had to actually manually winch them over and tip them over. So I don't have a Granby car, and there's none in the Phoenix mine here because they all would have been moved to Antioch when the mine closed here. They moved all the rolling stock to Antioch, and then when Antioch went broke in 1935. Caminco bought all the rolling stock and used it in other mines, and then the rest was sold for scrap. So there's none. I've never seen a Granby car, but I know there is. I know there is a newer one. They still make them today, but they're pretty cool. Why don't you start a documentary on mines with National Geographic, Discovery, or something? Well, that's kind of up to them, I guess. You know, they do what they want to do. So, you know, since the times I've been doing this, you know, there's different producers that have proposed different things, but you know, you know, nothing ever became of it, I guess. So they have all kinds of different ideas, I suppose. At work, Frank, cutting beef. Oh, you're a butcher. Yeah, that's lots of fun. Have cut yourself a nice big thick steak for me. The coronavirus caused the closure of some mines. Crazy that coal donkeys or mules were considered more valuable probably than the miners back then. Get back to work and stop wasting the boss's money. Good to see you again. Valuable to human life. Well, back in the day, about 120 years ago, it wasn't as valuable as it is today. How did they get those big air tanks in the mine? Did they build them in the mine? Well, they just would have had them on the train, just put them on the haul them in on ore carts or whatever. It's not really a too big of a deal. Will do, sir. Yeah, so, yeah, so, you know, hope you guys are all, you know, kind of getting through this corona thing. You know, it'll pass. I don't know how much damage it's going to do to our economy and our way of life. I guess we'll all get over it. It's probably not going to kill a huge amount of people. But it's definitely going to shake things up. So I can answer a few more questions, but so it's really kind of hampering my my travel. So I can't get into the States now because the border's been closed and we can't fly overseas. So we're kind of stuck in Canada doing some exploration for the time being, which is maybe okay because there's hardly any, where I live, there's hardly any corona here at all. So maybe if we go traveling, it'd be like jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, huh? What kind of gases do you usually encounter in abandoned mines? Just like bark and spider gases is the only thing that we ever... there's not usually gases in abandoned mines, except coal mines, obviously, you know, methane and stuff like that, but I don't go to coal mines. So you can occasionally run into areas of low oxygen because of maybe there was a fire in there or just poor circulation of rotting timbers. It's rare, but it does happen sometimes, have low oxygen. Cool videos and interesting, thank you, and I will. Is mining branch better than mechanical for an engineer who wants to pursue a career in mines? I don't know. You'd have to ask whoever's running the mines, I guess. I don't know. Have you heard of Highland gold mining in Russia? Insane values per ton of ore. No, I haven't. It's 3 a.m. over here in South Wales. I'm going to call it a night. Can't wait to see your video on Friday. Keep up the good work, Frank. Thanks, John. Good of you to join us. Get some sleep. Just keep what you're doing, Frank. You're good at it. You like it. So what's there to lose? Have fun and be safe. Yeah, I mean, you know, some people think I'm going to kill myself and all that, but you're going to get older. You're going to die of something eventually, one way or another. So I don't think there's any. If you're having fun doing what you're doing, better just continue doing that. Don't worry about it. You know, take precautions the best you can. You can't control everything. 9 a.m. and I wish I had a beer to enjoy this with. Yeah, you can have a beer with your pizza, you know. It's 9 p.m. in Nebraska and just opened my 4th beer. Yeah, ever spoken to many Australians regarding some of the mines in Southeast Australia during the gold rush? I have. You know, the problem with Australia, lots of people say, come to Australia. It's just baking hot there. You know, like, you know, the one guy says, well, it's been, you know, 3 weeks and temperature hasn't gotten below 42 or something. I said, well, there's no bloody way I'm going there then. That's too damn hot. Have you thought about some trips in Europe? Yeah, I'd like to go to, I've talked about this lots of the catacombs in Paris. That's my, that's my dream to go there and see that. So that'd be pretty cool. Thanks for the videos, Frank. Have a good night. You're welcome. And you too. How's Sharon doing? She's doing fine. She goes up and down them mines like a spider girl. You've taught her well, Frank. She's got sand. You know, she's actually just got a natural ability. She's really good on climbing. I mean, our first date, we went to a climbing wall, and she was just like, yeah, just like a spider going up there. She likes going up and down ropes. She loves ropes. Crazy's not just hot; it's crazy expensive too. So, well, if I hear one more bad thing about Australia, like they say the beer's expensive, then I'd never go there. Like my dad said one time, he traveled somewhere, I can't remember where it was. He says, "Oh, this is a terrible country." He says, "It's really hot and the beer's expensive." He says, "Never go there." Yeah. Yeah, when it gets up in the 40s, it's not much fun. And I know, being in mines, it's really hot, man. You're just, it's bad enough in Arizona. You're down there and you're stripped, you got your shirt off and you're drinking as much water as you can and sweat's just pouring off you. Some of that mines are just nasty, like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult exploring mines when it's hot. I mean, it's nice thing about mines here. It's hot outside, but it's nice and cool in the mines. So perfect temperature exploring mines here. A little wet, mind you, but can't have everything, I guess, eh? I heard Norway beer is $14. Well, that's the best thing about the States. I mean, there's not much stuff that's a lot cheaper in the States, but I mean, when you can buy 30 beer for like $18, that's pretty good. Yeah, the beer's not bad there. I mean, yeah, a lot of them guys drink that watery stuff, Coors Light and stuff, but there is, if you look hard, you can find decent beer. Should you ever own and operate a mine if you had the opportunity? Well, I wouldn't want to. It'd be fun to play. I'd like to work at a mine just to kind of try it out there. Do a bunch of with a jack leg and run the trains and a mucker, and because I like running equipment and all that. That'd be a lot of fun. But mining underground is practically obsolete now. Anyhow, it's just so expensive. That'd be a very exceptional deposit to make any money underground. So you just don't see underground mining on a profitable scale anymore. Are you planning on visiting any mines in South Asia? No. Need to come to Michigan up to the copper mines. Well, I know people said that before, but they say it's a long ways from here. There's so many places that are way closer that I can drive to. Within 3 or 4 days, and Michigan's all clear across the country. It's a long ways away, and you can't even get across the border now anyhow. So. You would eventually get tired of it working underground for years. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. We get tired of everything eventually, but yeah, the novelty would be kind of fun. Well, I don't even want to work anymore, so would love to work in a mine. It's been my dream since I was a kid. So, I just because I know a fair bit about it, I guess, and I've researched a lot of it, and it would put some pieces of the puzzle together, so it would be kind of cool, right? So, you guys amaze me, being a former coal miner, seeing the strata you guys walk under and crawl under scares the piss out of me. Keep your ears open. But rats are your friends. Well, luckily they're not, but I don't want to have many friends that are rats. The thing is, it's different working in a mine than it is exploring a mine, right? So if you're exploring a mine, you're just kind of walking slowly and not touching anything. It's not likely anything loose is going to fall on your head just because you're under it. If you're working in a mine, you got drills going off and explosions, and you guys are rocking the whole thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on and air moving around and people, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's far more dangerous if you're in an operating mine, really. Other than the fact that you guys do the scaling and that kind of stuff and the air testing and all that. But, it's kind of like if you're walking around a logging block or something while they're logging, it's quite dangerous. You got trees going and trucks going and skidders, a whole bunch of this stuff. But if you're just kind of tiptoeing through there at night after all the equipment's parked, there's not really much of anything's going to happen, right? So I know a miner would look at that and say, "Holy Christ, I can't believe you'd walk around there. It hasn't been scaled and all that." But it's been there for 100 years. It's not going to fall on your head just because you're walking under it, right? So, COVID takes a strong mentality to go down in those old mines. It does, and I've seen all kinds of people that, they say, "Oh yeah, I want to go explore some mines with you," and they go on about how tough they are, and then they get underground and they just turn to butter. I mean, but what? I don't know. It does play on you mentally. And the other thing is, if you're underground for a long time, and even myself, if I'm underground for more than 6, 7 hours or something, because you're very alert, you're thinking about a whole bunch of stuff that's going on there, watching where you're going, remembering where you are, and all that. So your brain is actually working pretty hard as well as you're working physically. So yeah, it can be exhausting, after a while. So after a while, you kind of had enough, eh? So even though that's just a miner works more hours than that, but it's kind of on a different. You're doing something different. How many different dynamite boxes do you have? Quite a few. I got Giant Powder Company, Hamilton Powder Company, Polar, CIXL, CXL, Atlas. Yeah, quite a few different types. 380 people died in Chestnut coal mines. I haven't heard of that. I can't believe how loud the air drill was. A little short video showed running the air drills, selling machine guns. Very loud, and so is the mucker. And back in the day when they run those machines, they didn't have hearing equipment. They didn't have earplugs and stuff like that. So like most guys, well, those guys used to be deaf all the time, right? So yeah, I mean they didn't understand much about how hard that dust is on your lungs and the damage to your ears and stuff. So 16-1 Mine, California. So you'd like to play with some of their toys. They've got a lot, and they're currently expanding underground working, so check them out. I haven't heard of that. There should be a special newspaper that focuses only on mining, something like Mining News or Mining Express, what say? Huh, it's kind of cool. I've got an old paper called Granby News, and it was when Phoenix was there, and they put that out every month for the mine managers to tell them what was going on with the mines and different stuff, so kind of interesting. So the reduced oxygen levels can play a large part in exhaustion. Body is working overtime to stay healthy. Oh, that's not true because we have the oxygen monitor. Oxygen is normally 21%, and then the monitor goes off, it goes down like 1%. So very rare it's ever below that. So, actually it's interesting. If you go hiking up the mountains or, high up in elevation, you're having a hard time, and sometimes like to go to Everest, you need extra oxygen, but the oxygen level is actually the same. But the difference is there's this a lot less air there because at lower sea level, the air is kind of compressed, so the ratio of oxygen to normal air is the same, but higher elevations is expanded a lot, so you're not getting as many, cubic centimeters of or whatever of oxygen into your lungs. So there's less oxygen, if that makes any sense. It's the same ratio though. So you ever run into a DuPont explosive box before? I don't think so. I've got a Hercules one, but it's from the States. So they have different brands of explosives of here than they did in I think you got more types of explosives in the States than here. They made just about all the explosives here at James Island here in Canada. So remember watching one of your videos, you were trying to come out the other side and push too far, waist deep in water. What mine was that? That was the Rabbit's Paw, I think. Yeah. Yep. I have a DuPont box, stumping powder. Yeah. Yeah. No, Heath. That was the Rabbit's Paw mine. It was over in Sandon. All right. You found a nice pickaxe in that one in the last video. Yeah, and we got it cleaned up with sandblasted it and stained it. It's nice, eh? Nice and light. Feels good. It's pretty cool. It's actually kind of similar to that in that coal mine video where I was chipping some coal there. It was similar to that axe. They're actually a lot lighter than you would think, those pickaxes. My classmate worked at the awesome powder packing plant where they didn't find any of them about 40 years ago. That's why James Island was out. They had their explosive plant out in the Gulf of near Vancouver, and they did have an explosion there. But the reason they have that is so if there's an explosion, nobody else is hurt around there that's not involved with it. Oxygen saturation levels are lower due to additional pressure on your body. Possible. My nightmares are being stuck inside an underground mine and water spilling apparently in it. Actually that happened a lot in coal mines. If they have a collapse, especially on the ribs of a coal mine, because a lot of them, I know for some reason it happens in coal mines a lot. So they'll be mining a level, and all of a sudden they just have a big collapse, and the water just comes in there. Oh, there's more collapses in coal mines because coal is pretty soft, and they flood instantly and kill people. There's so many ways to die in a coal mine. Most areas are thermosol brand in the UK. Yeah, so like every area has their own explosives. So you guys probably know how explosives were invented. So nitroglycerin was invented first as a high explosive and was very unstable. If you put too much of that in a bottle, you could shake it hard enough for it to blow up. So Alfred Nobel mixed that with sawdust at the time and invented the blasting cap, which makes it pretty stable. But the problem is, like over time, that it can migrate out through the paper and sweat on the outside, and then you're pretty much back into straight nitroglycerin. That can set off fairly easily. It's set off in some mines in California just by rats scampering across it. So it doesn't take too much to set it off. So we used to store. A lot of people did store dynamite in a freezer. So as long as it's frozen, it won't sweat. But you got to thaw it out before you use it again. So, was there ever any credit to those Levi's that you found? No, there's nothing like that. I am from Chile. Yeah, lots of mining in Chile. There's Canadian mining companies working in there too. So, and in Mexico, different places, I guess. So, probably the mine. You correct me if I'm wrong. Probably the regulations are less onerous than they are here. So, probably part of the reason why there's more mining companies that are down there mining. I was in Chile where there were some miners trapped for 30 days. They sunk a shaft next to that one and got them out. Very brave men. Yeah, that'd be pretty tough being stuck in the dark for 30 days. That'd be a long 30 days. So, you'd also try the deepest gold mine in South Africa. It's really hot there. They can only work there for a very short period of time, even though it's all air conditioned and everything. There's also a pretty deep mine in Canada. Can't remember where. Yeah, when they start getting thousands of feet now, it starts getting pretty hot down there. You keep yawning, rubbing your eyes, and your hands are dirty. Oh yeah. What was I doing? Well, I was doing some work on my truck, and I was getting my parachute ready to go, greasing the trailer and working the shop and stuff, and then doing a few things on the museum there, moving some stuff around. It's regular stuff, fooling around. Hola. Something Espanol, which means Spanish. Mucho, which is lots. That's about all I understand about that sentence. Do you ever think about going back to Mazatlan? Actually, I wasn't in Mazatlan, but I was very close to Mazatlan, just south of it a little ways. No, not many people go there anymore. They say it's just a real shithole there. It's filthy. And there's lots of crime there. Tourists don't go there much anymore. There's not supposed to be much to see there. So it's what I hear anyhow. So it was a popular tourist area at one time, but not so much anymore. Same with Acapulco. I haven't been to Acapulco, but I was close to it. But I'm not really a big fan of big tourist destinations. Anyhow, there's lots of interesting places in Mexico, I think, farther inland where there's no tourists, I think. But more interesting, I think. Zacatecas is a real cool place in Mexico. Not many tourists go there. Well, not many white tourists. Lots of tourists from other parts of Mexico that go to Zacatecas. It's really neat. It's up to 7,000 feet. Lots of cool mines there, and a really nice, beautiful museum. All kinds of fossils and stuff. You might have seen some of the videos on Zacatecas. Superior, Arizona. There's a copper mine. 7,000 feet. They're mining there today. I haven't been there. I've heard of it. Hello, much love from Spain. I don't speak much English. Well, you seem to write it well, or it's translated, but hello. So I guess, I don't know, if you go to Mexico and you speak Spanish there, I wonder if it would be quite a bit different than visiting Spain, if the Spanish would be different. I suspect it probably is. People that speak French in Canada, French Canadians, if they go over to Paris or to France, they just call them hillbillies. They can't understand much of anything they say. But mind you, sometimes listen to the English In the UK, it's difficult to understand what they're saying too. Even though the language is the same, but the accent is difficult to understand. Are you planning on going back to the California, Nevada area in the future? I am, so, but probably maybe not this year because of the border being closed due to COVID. Do cat and BEML produce good quality mining machinery? I don't know. I never heard of BEML. So Caterpillar, I think, probably makes the best equipment in the world. In my opinion, anyways. I've always been a big fan of cat stuff. I had cat engines and trucks that I had, and I had a D3 cat and a D2 cat and a D6 cat. So I always like that. I always think they're cats. And then also had a rubber tired cat. What the heck do you call that? A tractor that was on rubber tires is Caterpillar also. My former apprentice is from Zacatecas. He says it's beautiful there. Well, not much for churches, I'll tell you. They sure got some nice churches there. Lots of gold and stuff there. And the churches are just huge. Yeah, Zacatecas is a really nice place. I like it there. I'll say it's Portugal and Brazil. So I think you're talking about the Spanish. We were experiencing an asteroid Armageddon type scenario. Would mines be safe to retire to? Oh, well, I guess if you watch too much TV or whatever, you'd probably learn that the biggest thing that would happen is you'd have a lot of dust in the atmosphere and that'd block the sun's rays and it'd be quite a bit colder for a while. So, crops would be harder to grow and stuff. So, I don't see why you'd want to live in a mine. If it's not a cat, it's a dog. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yep. Dodge, yeah. So I'm a big Dodge fan too. I love my 05 Dodge with Cummins in it. If I could buy a Caterpillar engine, I would have one of my pickup. They don't make them, so. So I guess you're back in Canada now. Did you enjoy yourself in the States? Do you plan on coming back in the States? So yeah, I come back on the 3rd of March, so I've been back here for a while. Yeah, it was really enjoyable in the States. But a lot of people say that Canadians are really nice and that. I didn't really find any difference. A lot of Americans are really nice too. So I didn't have any problems with any of the people there. They were friendly and seems to be just as home. I keep forgetting that I was in a different country. Actually, very similar. Other than obviously, some laws are different. Obviously, firearms and different things like that, whatever. But very similar. And the big advantage is, obviously we've got a fair bit of winter here, so it's difficult to get into a lot of mines and stuff. And you have such a good variety of mines there, so lots of places to go exploring mines. So I'm definitely planning on going back. However, I'm not going to be able to get into the States probably because of COVID. I don't know if maybe not everyone realized that, but the border's closed, so you're not allowed to travel from Canada to the States or from the States into Canada. So unless you're, trucking or something like that for tourism, you're not allowed to go anyhow. So, yeah. What is moon mining? You got me. The Portuguese will be very angry with you. Same language, different dialects. Well, that's the same with English, I guess. It's they're using the same words, but you got to listen a little closer, I guess. And it sounds odd, like if you travel to Newfoundland, it might be hard to understand some of them people. No, yeah, you can understand what they're saying, but it is amusing though. When you hear sometimes dialects or something different than what you're used to, it's yeah, and you guys might think this is funny, but if I talk to someone that's British, I have a hard time from the UK. Well, depending on what part of the UK. But a lot of it sounds like the same as someone from Australia. So sometimes they'll say, "Are you from Australia?" And you say, "No, Great Britain," or the other way around. I can't really tell. So yeah. No Cummins 12 valve, best motors out there for older trucks. Well, I've got a 24 valve, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, I've got just about 200,000 miles on it, I guess, 300,000 clicks on it, and I haven't much trouble with the engine. It's good. It's a good motor. I like them. Got lots of power, cheap on fuel, easy to work on, pretty reliable. You think you'll ever get to the upper Pennsylvania or Michigan? I doubt it, but you never know. It's a long ways from here. There's thousands and thousands of mines way closer than that. When I go south to Louisiana, I can't understand a freaking word they're saying. Well, I can usually understand it. I mean, you must watch that show. What's that show with them guys down there hunting crocodiles down there, swamp people or whatever? Hey, I find that's interesting. Listen to them talk. Um, well, what would you do if a mine collapsed and you were trapped inside? Start digging. That's the only thing you can do. Like I say, I don't know why it would suddenly collapse there. More likely I'd get locked in a mine, say if I went into a mine or something, and it wasn't locked, and then somebody locked it behind me, maybe. Huh? Swamp men. Up yonder in their mine, Irby Piston. Must be a different language than I'm used to. Do you own any Tata motors, heavy engines? I didn't even heard of a Tata or whatever that is. Must be something that you guys have in Asia or something that's not common in North America. A lot of that stuff you guys use that wouldn't pass the missions that they have here. And in the old days, they didn't use any diesel equipment in mines because there's too much sulfur in the fuel. It's a lot cleaner than it used to be now. But the other big difference is they got really good circulation in mines now. So they got huge air vents. They're like 3 feet across. So they pump a huge amount of air in there. So that's why they're able to run diesel locomotives and stuff like that. Hill talk, yeah. The deep southern Louisiana people speak a deep French dialect. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy all these different. It'd be kind of boring for everyone to talk the same, I guess. That's it's funny when people say that. I have a Canadian accent. I think what? Like when we watch stuff on TV, to me it sounds exactly the way we talk. So I don't see where the accent. I don't know why people say we got accent, but that's what they say. So if you're from a different area, I think it sounds different to you, but it doesn't us. What got you started in being interested in exploring mines? Well, I went into my first mine when I was about 25 years old, just curious, and went in there, and I didn't look at a mine until I was about 50, and I was just flying over with my airplane over Phoenix, and I seen all these huge holes there, and I thought, hey, well, wow, I remember the mines that I'd been into many years ago, and then I started going back in there, and there's 10 miles of tunnels in there, and I was in there for like a whole month there checking all that out and kind of got hooked there. So Tata India is one of the largest companies in the world. Jaguar cars and Land Rovers were both purchased in 2008. Jaguars, there's not very many Jaguars and Land Rovers around here. So, oh, you've got one Frank. An accent, I guess you're talking about? Is that how you guys pronounce the word out? There's lots of words that Americans can't say. They can't say roof. They say roof. That's what a dog does. A dog goes rough. It's roof. There's a couple of things you guys say a little different than us, but not like y'all. Yeah, y'all. You guys say that all the time when you say that. We go a lots. Whatever. If we're all the same, it'd be awfully boring, huh? A whole month. I never realized that. I do say roof. Do you ever see any veins or metals that you still see that need exploring? Drives me crazy a little bit, but like I'll do a video and people say, "Oh, you missed a big vein of gold." Yeah, right. I mean, those the miners that it's a lot of work to dig those tunnels and stuff. There's no way they would have missed any visible gold. It's rare to have visible gold to mine to begin with. Sure, certainly wouldn't be any on the wall of a mine that's abandoned. What is the Google earthquake detecting system? Is that a joke? Put a sock on your mic for a pop filter. I don't even know where my mic is. It's somewhere built into my computer. I don't see it anywhere. I'll move my cup, that'll help. You ever got spooked in a mine like something is watching you? Yeah, sort of, and I don't really know why, but not often. Not that I think that something's watching you. It's probably more just a matter of just being underground for too long and you're at a high state of awareness. And Sharon says she gets the mind ghoulies, which is a good word for it, I guess. She's in too long, the mind ghoulies come out. It's all mental. The kind of people that see all these things in minds are the same kind of people that had monsters in their closet. When I was a kid, I never had no monsters in my closet. Have you ever done high altitude mine exploration? You run into issues with air based on the fact the air's thinner up high. Some up at Trout Lake, there's some high altitude mines up there. Not as high as they got in Colorado. We're around 7,000 feet. I know you guys got some there that are 10, 12 and higher, so I haven't been to those. Like up near the timberlines. So, yeah. We don't have a lot of real high altitude mines that I've been to. So, have you ever visited Kuwait or Saudi Arabia mines? No, I've never even been on that continent. Okay, so mine ghoulies, wingman Sharon. Hey, there's one Sharon. How's it going there, hon? Mine ghoulies are real. Yes, dear. Oh, we gotta delete this here. Not Sharon's post, but somebody's trying to sell some diamonds or something. So, Sharon must be back home now. She's on her computer. So we had a long gossip here on here. See, I'm bored. Didn't have anyone else to talk to, so I had to talk to all you guys. Have you ever stayed overnight in a mine? No, I haven't. I don't know if you get much sleep with the rats running over your head. Usually it's kind of cold and wet, and you got critters in there. It doesn't seem like the best place to spend the night. My wife says you're crazy going so deep in mines. Greeting from Spain. Well, the guys that built the mines must be even crazier, huh? I didn't know such mines existed. Must be a nightmare to breathe. No, it's same as being on the surface. I don't really notice any difference. Will you visit underwater mine exploration? No, that's another. The underwater mine exploration is another level of insanity. First of all, it's pitch black, so if anything happened to your light, you'd never be able to make a way out. You got cold water, tangle hazards. There's also the hazard of stuff falling on you if you're underneath winches and all that. It's about the most extreme diving you could ever do. So, I wouldn't do it. On the show about mining video, did with him, he goes in your mine. 6 miners die in that mine. Hi, Sharon. Your beard reminds me of the dwarfs in Lord of the Rings. They were miners too. Actually, in my office there where I do my editing, there's the wallpaper's got the 7 dwarfs around it. I didn't put it there. It was there. I moved in here. Do you ever think you'll run out of mines to explore? I used to think so at one time, but now I've been traveling to the States. There's not a chance I'll ever run out of mines. I just have to travel a little further to get to them, but there's so many mines around, and as the channel gets more popular, people keep telling me about more of them. And it's kind of my favorite thing. I'm getting real lazy, so the mines I like to explore, someone says, hey, I know there's a really cool mine. Give me a call, I'll show you where it is, and I'll go in there with you. So that's... that takes a lot of work out of it, trying to find decent mines if people know that, eh? So yeah. Do celebrities also visit mines? I'm a celebrity. Do I look like a normal person? No. Why would they go into mines? Nobody in the right mind would go into mine. Carson, here in Utah we have lots of mines, but they can be extremely hard to find. Do you have any tricks on what kind of research? Yeah, my trick is that people say, hey, come check out this mine. I know this cool mine is. That's my trick. Well, the main thing is that if there's a large mine, there's going to be a large waste rock pile. So that's if you're in the area, there's got lots of mines in it. And usually, like the big mines, I'm only interested in the big mines. I don't care about the little mines. So you know, they get famous or whatever. So yeah, they're just kind of easy to find. So you ever thought about the forgotten bunkers of World War II? You know, if I happen to be in the neighborhood there, I might go into one, but you know, I can only focus on so many things, right? That beard makes you a celebrity, yeah. So I should learn how to play a guitar. Maybe it's ZZ Top, and they only got 3 guys in the band. I think maybe just a few more guys, huh? Look at the U.S. GS maps, so the U.S. Geological Service. There's all kinds of stuff online. You can spend your whole life looking at stuff online. Good night. Keep your feet dry and your light on. Yeah, good night. Come to Bouncy Mine in Northern Yorkshire, 200-hectare site, living the dream. Hey man, thanks for posting what you post. You're welcome, Ben. You can't trust the US BS. Have you ever wished you visited a mine that's closed? Yeah, there's the Velvet Mine. Kaminko filled it in. It was a beautiful shaft. I went there with my mine stuff to go down, and they filled the thing in. Probably what I wish more is that I went to mines and stuff, and I left stuff that was there that's now gone and it's been demolished, scrapped, or disappeared. And I thought, man, I should have grabbed that before it got wrecked or disappeared and is gone forever. So I missed out on some stuff like that. We were just recently in a mine, and there was a whole bunch of cool stuff there. The mining company went in there, cleaned up everything, all the buildings, wrecked everything. It's just like a park there now. All this stuff's gone. So I wish I would have got more of that for my museum before they. And you know, the mining company doesn't make any money off it either. They just bring a big truck with a bin and stick all the pieces of track and steel and everything in it, and they think, oh, they're cleaning it up, right? So, but destroyed all the history. I watched a video of yours before. You talked about a barge. You said it was a big barge. Can you say that's a big barge? That's a big barge. Doesn't sound that hard. It's up in Antioch where they got the slag out of the mine. They bring a big barge in there and load it up full of slag. Comstock mine would be cool. Do you ever run out of lights when exploring? I haven't. And then someone says, do you run out of batteries? Well, they don't run out of batteries. They bring like 3 or 4 extra lights. So the batteries are in them, but you know, you could change. I don't actually have extra batteries, just got extra lights because all the lights, the Fenix ones that I got, they're rechargeable and USB port. They're very good lights. I mean, I've had some of those for 4 or 5 years, and I've never changed the batteries. I just use them rechargeable batteries, just keep working. They very durable, good lights. But like I said, this light that I'm using now, it's like a big light, and it's got a kind of a orangey filter, and it's really bright in the center. And it seems to be a lot better for filming because it's a softer light. But it's got like a pinpoint that's really bright that I thought would kind of annoy some people, but nobody made any comments about it, so it seems to be okay. So I'm happy that there wasn't too much wasn't any pissing and moaning about it. Now that I mention it, probably people are going to complain, but. Some old mines in eastern Tennessee around Sneedville. I was there when I was deer hunting 40 years ago. What kind of Harley do you used to ride, and what do you own one now? No, I don't have one anymore. I just had a swap meet special, so I had an old 57 Pan, one of the first swing arm frames that come out. We put a brand new Evo in it when the Evos first came out in what, 83 or was it, or somewhere around there? 86, 83, whatever. So we just built it out of parts. That's a big barge, eh? You're too easily amused there, Mr. Goulet. Frenchman, huh? When do you plan to go to Stewart or Hyder, and or for how long? I plan on going end of August. So we're going to go up there and take a big tour through the north. I don't know how far we're going to get up north. Try to get up as far as we can. Do you believe in ghosts? I do not believe in ghosts. I said, I don't believe in, let's see, I don't believe in ghosts, God, the Easter Bunny, or Santa Claus. And when I tell people that, they usually say, what? You don't believe in Santa Claus? I'm the world's biggest skeptic. If it hasn't kicked me in the ass, it doesn't exist. I have a friend who used to work in coal mines, and they flushed a cut. They left 8 cars with copper fittings, rail, and steel cables. They since backfilled the shaft. That happens. You may watch the movie Kila Pantha. It's based on the biggest mining disaster. Actually, the Pink Panther is more cool. The Pink Panther, that's a good movie to watch. You ever find yourself in Cherokee, NC, right, North Carolina? There are lots of abandoned mines that give reward if found. Is your museum free to go? It is. I don't charge anything for admission. You look like Santa Claus. Yeah, well, that's why I don't believe in Santa Claus. Maybe he looks like me. Ever think of that? All right, so we've been doing this for quite a while. So if you guys have any other burning questions, I could answer them, or maybe just let you guys go, and then next time I'll be able to do this without sending you 10 notices. And then we'll have Sharon with us here, and she can answer some questions. She's better looking at me anyways. Have you ever considered working with Jeff Williams? I think you guys are making nice. Yeah, he's a really good filmmaker and very entertaining fellow. Be an awesome guy to do a show with. So we will if we can. I'm not sure, he's in California somewhere. I think, I don't know. So, and he comments on my videos occasionally, so we're kind of in touch with him a little bit, I guess. Can you briefly talk about the most life-threatening situation you've been in the mine? I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. Like, there's lots of stuff that can happen. I mean, nothing's really happened yet, so I don't know. I guess when it happens, I suppose. Probably just loose stuff and that, something fall on you, maybe. I'd love to see your museum. You're doing a great show. Thanks, and the museum's just going to keep improving as we find more stuff to put in it. So, the Elizabeth Copper Mine in Vermont. Frankly, I don't even know where Vermont is. So, can I do a mineral show? I don't know. I don't really know that much about minerals. I don't like talking about stuff that I don't really. A lot of people have opinions and stuff about these things, but have you ever operated a hem machine? You mean if your pants are too long and you have to stitch them up? No, Sharon do that. She does all my hemming for me. I don't know what a hem machine is. Thanks, Frank and Sharon. Off to the vet. My dog has a blood problem from a tick bite. Oh, well. That's not going to kill him. Dogs get bit by ticks all the time. Thanks, Frank. Great content. Awesome channel. You're welcome. Thank you for the museum tour last Wednesday. Yeah, you're welcome, Norm. So I hope you guys had fun up at Phoenix. Yeah, I should have told you to come by for a beer at the end of the day. Have you had issues with wildlife? I have. I got attacked by a bear once, but he only took a small bite out of me. Thanks for the live stream. You're welcome. Thanks for the stream. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. It has been a pleasure chatting with you guys, and yeah. So we got a show coming out every. We moved it over to Friday, so we got some other cool stuff coming out, and like that tram thing. If you guys are into the tram, it's pretty cool. It's not underground at all. But we're kind of excited about that, and some other stuff with some other big mines, and then we've probably got some other stuff from Arizona. A while out, we're going to try to do kind of a best, get some of the cool stuff we got in Arizona that we haven't showed you guys, and show you that. So so lots of stuff coming out, and hope you guys are all healthy and safe, and we will talk to you again some other time. Have a good night. Bye.